South American formations. Welcome you guys once again to the channel Ranking with Dinosaurs, where we rank, you guessed it, dinosaurs. And today I'm going to be following with my formations tier list, where the first episode, of this formation series was North America. So now we're going a little bit south to the South American formations. Yes, this one's a bit hits close to heart because I am a Latin American, so I do have some bias towards these formations specifically. But I'm gonna be try to be as objective as possible. Although I think my country doesn't have any on this particular tier list, because I'm sticking with, again, Mesozoic. If you want me to branch out, I don't know, do some Paleozoic or Cenozoic ones, I'll do it. But for now, only dinosaurs. And, not only dinosaurs, but, Mesozoic animals. Mesozoic formations. So we're going to be moving on with this South American formation. So without further ado, we're going to be starting with ISCHIGUALASTIO formation. So we're going to be starting in the late Triassic, actually, with a geological formation from La Rioja in San Juan province. This is in Argentina. We're going to hear a lot of Argentinian formations because, oh my god, every single one is over there. Like, I guess, the ground is much more, much better suited for fossilization, but oh my god, almost every single formation is from there. I did try to include some others that are not exclusively from there, but oh my god, it was hard. As the best ones are mostly from Argentina. But this one is from, again, the late Triassic, and this was a river-dominated environment. There were periods of extreme humidity, warm temperatures, before it evolved into a much more dry climate, and then millions of years later into a seasonal humidity. So again, the climate here was very fluctuating in the late Triassic. Again, towards that time period, it would come the Jurassic, so there was a little bit of an extinction event. Not as prominent, but still, a pretty relevant one. As for dinos in this formation, I mean, there are some absolute staples of the Triassic, like Herrerasaurus. First of all, amazing. I still gotta find a tier list where to put Herrerasaurus. Panfagia is from there, Eoraptor, Eudromeus. As for non-dinos, like other archosaurs, there's Itosauroides, Pisanosaurus, which I can't remember if it's still debate if it was a Ornithischian or a Coelurosaurid, sorry. We got Saurosuchus, Lagarpetids, Hyperodapodon, which I did talk about in my Triassic Weirdos tier list, Proterochampsa, and there's a couple Dicynodons, which are the huge Dicynodons. I think it has the same name as the formation, ISCHIGUALASTIA, something like that, and Jacaleria too. So, pretty cool assortment of different weird animals and early dinosaurs. So, I mean, lately I'm starting with S tiers, but I mean, I'm not doing it on purpose, I swear. ISCHIGUALASTIO is just that good. HUINCUL formation. Again, this is the late Cretaceous. A geological formation between 97 and 93 million years ago, I believe. And this is in Patagonia, again, Argentina. Letting you know, again, a lot of Argentina in this video. And this is one of the oldest ones in the Neuquén group. Neuquén group. This group actually has a lot of different formations too. But, yeah. It is believed the environment here was mostly terrestrial, very fluvial, with large flood plains and a lot of very lacustrine, which means that it was a lot of lakes, or it was shaped by lakes, and there was a lot of sedimentary deposition. So that really helped with the fossilization of a lot of different animals in there. As for dinosaurs, I mean, we got some heavy hitters. I mean, for sauropods, we got Limaisaurus, I believe, Siderosaurus, just a new one. And the biggest one of them all, Argentinosaurus. I would show you my Argentinosaurus figure, but it's too heavy. We got Chukarosaurus and Bustinguri Titan, which is one of the weirder names for a sauropod. And as for theropods, Carpiovenator, Elocasia, a couple of abelisaurs. Mapusaurus for a Carcharodontosauric, pretty awesome. Meraxes too, that's a new discovery as well. And Taurovenator, which is another Carcharodontosaurid. Again, Carcharodontosaurs were mostly, it is believed that they were sauropod hunters, with all these sauropods in there, and they were the apex predators. Somebody had to hunt them down. And actually, you have a couple different theropods, weird theropods, like Gualicho, weird ass name, and Oviraptor too. So, Huincul formation, I love that formation too. I don't want to put an S tier as well, because, So I'm going to put an A tier for now. The Candeleros formation. Now, this is actually the oldest one in the Nequin group that I was talking about a little bit earlier. And this one's from 99 million years ago. And the actual environment was braided by a lot of river systems. And there was a very warm climate. A lot of water flow, different channels. And, which means that there was plenty of water for animals over there. There's actually as well some evidence for, swamps and I can't remember. There's a lot of media depicting like some sparse forested areas, but I don't know if that's like rooted in some kind of, evidence. But there was a lot of lakes too. It's like the climates don't vary that much between these formations, specifically during this time period, but I'm just letting you know so I can paint a picture of what the actual place looked like. As for dinosaurs here, we got the most famous one from South America, Giganotosaurus, the big guy from the formation. We actually have some other not so big guys like Jacapil, little ornithischian guy, and Buitraraptor too, the other theropod, a dromaeosaur from South America. As for sauropods, we got Andysaurus, Rayosaurus. And as for other different animals, we got Araripesuchus, crocodile morph, and Najash, which is a prehistoric snake, which still had some remnants of limbs on its skeleton. But yes, Candeleros, it's iconic because of Giganotosaurus. I'm not gonna lie. It is hard carried by Giganotosaurus, and I guess Jacapil too. So, do I want to put it in A tier? I kind of want to put it in B tier, right under Huincul. Romualdo formation. Now, finally, we can take a break from Argentina. Oh my God, and we can move on to Brazil, more specifically northeastern Brazil. This is early Cretaceous, and this one is very. Aside from not being in Argentina, this is a very different environment. At the time, there was a marine transgression where an epicontinental sea flooded the region. These are big words. So basically, the place was flooded. Was flooded by the sea. Sea levels were rising. This place was actually encased in a lot of water, as evidenced by a lot of marine fossils found in this area. But eventually, this continent, like this little sea, this little water invasion eventually regressed and it continentalized again, which means there was a much more terrestrial conditions for animals. And what did these terrestrial conditions gave place to was what animals had this place as their home. Well, a lot of different pterosaurs. This is the pterosaur paradise. A lot of different pterosaurs, weird ones, and very. I don't want to say like iconic because pterosaurs are not as not as famous as dinosaurs, and the famous pterosaurs are kind of like Pteranodon, Pterodactyl. Really, those are the ones that you recognize. I'm not talking about us paleo fans. But, we got Thalassodromeus, Ananguera, Caruridraco, Tapejara, Tropiognathyx, Tupujara. Bro, these are sick pterosaurs with sick crests. These are either the long teethy pterosaurs or the big ass crested pterosaurs. Awesome animals. But there are some dinosaurs too, like Santana Raptor, Angaturama, and Irritator. Yes, Irritator. This Spinosaurid is from here. There are a lot of different turtles as well. Again, crocs, and again, different marine marine fossils like bivalves and all that sort of things. So, Romualdo formation, I actually kind of love it a lot. I'm gonna put it in A tier. I wasn't expecting it, but A tier for being different. La Colonia formation. Now, this is from the Campanian and Maastrichtian late Cretaceous, again Argentina, but it is represented by a lagoon or lake environment with a climate being very warm and distinct wet and dry seasons. Possibly very forested too, because a lot of paleomedia portrays it as being in forests and stuff. I don't see a lot of lakes, but we'll take the the information I've gathered. There was a lot of different paleoflora as well, and we've recovered a lot of different fossilized plants, different angiosperms, leaves, and fruits from different types of plants. As for dinosaurs, this was not very very dinosaur heavy formation, because the only one that we've had more complete fossils of was Carnotaurus. Yes, Carnotaurus is from La Colonia formation, and no, it did not live with Amargasaurus. Sometimes I don't know why that is a common myth that is shared a lot, but Amargasaurus and Carnotaurus are from very different time periods. But yes, I think it's because of that fossil mount that has an Amarga and a Carnotaurus together. But recently we got another Abelisauр, Colican, found in this formation, and the other sauropod Titanomachia as well. Pretty awesome. What we do have here is more than 300 mammal specimens, which is insane. The amount of again mammal fossils that we found here, and a couple of snakes too have been found here. But yes, La Colonia, where is it gonna be? It is hard carried by Carnotaurus, so you're gonna go in B tier. The Allen Formation. Again, we are back in Argentina once more for the 20th time. Well, this geological formation is from the late Cretaceous, and from what I could gather, the interpretation ranges from a purely continental place environment with lacustrine and fluvial systems to a much more, coastal marine paleo environment with estuaries and tidal flats. It goes from there to there. Again, very humid, and there's a lot of presence of water in this formation, as with the other ones. But this one could be a much more coastal environment. There's a lot of different dinosaurs here. Ornithopods like Bonapartosaurus, Kelumpasaurus, Kelumapusaurus, Lapampasaurus, sauropods, Lapampasaurus, Iolosaurus, Rocasaurus too. And there's Bonatitan. I remember Bonatitan because it kind of it sounds like Bonaparte, which it's Bonapartosaurus, but not only Bonapartosaurus, but Bonapartinicus is also from here. So there's a lot of little French inspiration in these names. It's probably a reason I can bother to research why, but it's just funny. Bonapartinicus being an Alvarezsaurid, actually, from South America. For more theropods, you got Ostroraptor, sick Ostroraptor. We got Niebla, which is, I believe, is an Abelisauр, with Kilmesaurus too being an Abelisauр. And we also got some Astarkid material. Aerotitan is from here. We got some turtles, some fishes. I have to say, this is one of the formations that actually surprised me the most, that I didn't thought I would like as much. But I quite like it a lot. I am tempted to put it in A tier, honestly. ANACLETO Formation. Now, this is from province in Rio Mendoza in Patagonia. You know where this is, honestly. I don't have to say that much. But this is the youngest formation, actually, in the Rio Colorado subgroup, another group which has a bunch of different formations. It actually had a variety of different environments, primarily riverine, fluvial, and lacustrine. Floodplains, too, were setting to a semi-arid and to semi-humid climate. There was actually also a lot of volcanic activity around, with a lot of volcanic ash covering the environment later on. So, as for fauna, as for dinosaurs, I mean, we got Gasparinosaurus, Antarctosaurus, Chet Titan, a lot of sauropods, Nequensaurus, Laplatasaurus, but we also got Abelisaurus, like the OG Abelisaurus, and Aucasaurus too, is from here. Not only that, but we got Megaraptoran, a material here with Aerostion. Pretty awesome. There are some crocs too, like Gasparinosuchus and Testudines, like Prochylidalia. Prochylidalia? I can't remember that one. But a lot of different turtles too. So as you can see, there's a lot of not shared fauna, but a lot of different lineages of dinosaurs and animals that evolve and change in the same environment, but because the environment doesn't change that much, they mostly stay not the same, but there's a little variation between them. So as for the Anacleto Formation, I mean, I'm gonna put it in B tier. It's fine. I like it. CAñADON-ASFALTO Formation. Now, we come at the end of the tier list with a geological formation that I honestly didn't have on my radar until I was doing my research. This is from the Lower Jurassic. This is in a basin of the same name, so CAñADON-ASFALTO Basin. And I didn't have it in my radar at the beginning. And yes, this is from Argentina. However, this is a very different one. This is a much more inland, like continuous inland sector, which means very terrestrial habitat, very far from the nearest coast. And there were traces of a lot of volcanic events going on at the time. So, pretty different from the other ones, which are much more later in time. Cretaceous rocks. But this one being in the Lower Jurassic, it's interesting because we did have the ISCHIGUALASTIO, which was in the Triassic. So the fact that we have this one, which is the bridge, is pretty awesome. And the animals too. I didn't know this specific animals were from this formation. Like we got your standard sauropods, Patagosaurus. There's one called Volcamaria, pretty weird. I don't know why. Bagualia too. But for theropods, we got a large variety. We got Asphaltovenator, pretty awesome. Condoraptor too, a couple of Megaraptorans. Eoabelisaurus, which is, the precursor to Abelisaurus. And the weird-ass named dinosaur, Piatnitskysaurus. Oh, Lord, have I not heard about this name in a long time. Let me know when was the last time you heard about Piatnitskysaurus. I remember this name from, my childhood, doing a lot of research on, just searching dinosaurs, like whatever dinosaurs you could find online. And that was one of the weirdest ones that I could find. And the fact that this one is from Argentina, South America, pretty awesome. So, CAñADON-ASFALTO. I'm going to put it in A tier, but this A tier feels a little crowded. I think I'm going to bump HUINCUL to S tier because I really love that one. And I think, Carnotaurus is not saving this this formation. So I'm going to put in C tier. C tier for Carnotaurus. So this is going to be the tier list, guys. Thank you again for watching the video. Please let me know in the comments which formations did I forget, because I did not that I forget, that I didn't include in this tier list. Let me know if you want a part 2, if South American formations that do not include Argentina, because oh my god, that is so hard to do. But it's fine. Okay, let me know in the comments which one's your favorite formation, your favorite how will you make your tier list, and please how can you help me with the videos? Like them, it helps a lot. Subscribe, it helps even more. We're almost to 500 subs, so I appreciate your support, guys. And I read all the comments too, so I appreciate it when you do that. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much.